Hi, I'm Rodney from Fine Edge Beauty and Barber Supply. I've been in the scissor business for about 25 years now, and I've been hearing the same questions over and over again for all those years. What scissors do I choose? How do I choose my scissors? How long are my scissors going to stay sharp? What size is the right size for me? Do I choose a scissor that fits my hand? All kinds of questions. Choosing a scissor is a real mystery for a lot of stylists because there's not a lot of information about which is the right scissor to choose. There are basically two different styles of scissors. There are convex edge scissors, like these Casio greens here. This is a beautiful example of a convex edge design scissor. From the spine to the edge, it's a convex. It rolls like a clamshell. This strengthens the edge because with that sharp edge, you have a pile of metal right in behind the edge when it's convex like that. So it just provides more power to the edge. So they can make the edge of the scissor a lot sharper with that design than with the bevel design that I'm going to show you in a moment. The convex is designed on top of a concave base. So it's convexed on top, and you'll see on the bottom of the blade it's concave. You can particularly see it back here in the ride area. And then there's this horseshoe flat ride line that runs underneath the pivot area all the way up to the tip. Hopefully you can see that reflection, and that's a perfectly flat line, that thread all the way up to that tip, and then that horseshoe around the pivot area, so that when you open and close the scissor, it only rides on that fine little line. The convex of the blade top and the concave of the blade bottom and that ride line are three of the essential elements in the design of a convex style scissor. There are so many different design elements that go into a scissor like this. I could do a 20-minute video, probably longer, about the twist in the blades and the different angles along the edge. The essential elements of design are that convex top, the concave bottom, and the ride line. That allows the scissor to run so smoothly and cut so beautifully. The other style of scissor is the bevel edge scissor. This is a perfect example. This is also a 6-inch bevel edge scissor. Unlike the Casio, this doesn't have that same convex edge design. You can see clearly the edge on this scissor. It's an actual bevel. Very, very clear. This is a much stronger, steeper edge than on the convex. This is going to be a more durable edge than on the convex edge scissor, but not nearly as sharp, and it's not going to cut nearly as softly as the convex edge. Typically, a bevel edge scissor will have one side serrated. Very difficult to see in a video situation. We can't zoom in close enough. But if you look very closely under a good light, you'll see little teeth along one edge, and then the other edge is just going to be polished, a polished bevel. This scissor doesn't have nearly the concave bottom, the apparent concave bottom, as the Casio did, the convex edge that we were looking at earlier. It's got a bit of a concave to it, but not nearly as deep, and then the ride line isn't apparent at all on this one. So this scissor doesn't run as smooth as a convex edge. It doesn't cut as nicely as a convex edge, but it's very durable. So a lot of barbers prefer bevel edge scissors because they're cutting so much. They're putting so much mileage on their blades. They don't really need that soft cut. They just need a scissor that cuts. It's a great combination to have a serrated bevel edge scissor and a nice Japanese style convex edge scissor in your kit. To make the convex edge a little more clear, I'm just going to draw a quick diagram as if I was to cut the scissor right down the middle, and we can see the cross section of the blade. You'll be able to see the spine, which would be here. This is the back of the blade right here. This is the convex going all the way down to the edge there. Then on the bottom, there's a hollow like this. And then there's going to be, oops, bring that down. There's going to be a ride line right there. I'm a terrible artist, I'm sorry, but I hope you get the idea. This is, I'm not full. This is there you go. That's the, I'm exaggerating of course, but there's concave at the bottom, convex at the top, and then this is your little ride line right here, and this is where the blade rides on your other blades. So in fact, the second blade would be here, and how would I do this? It would be here, and the spine of the blade, this I gotta think upside down, so it would convex like that, and the spine of the blade would be here, and then it would hollow down, something like that. So the blades ride on each other like that. So that's the convex style. Very crude drawing of the convex style. Now, the bevel style is quite different in that it just goes down like this, and then boom, you have a bevel edge, and then straight across. And then on the other side, you'd have the blade coming like this, and then boom, straight down and up like that. So you just have, this is your angle here at maybe let's say 55 degrees, standard bevel edge, and this guy's in here at maybe 40 to 45 degrees here. So much sharper, but you got a little metal in behind there to give it strength. But the bevel edge here, this one side would have teeth, little serrations, just to give you an idea. It's like a piranha. One side, and the other side is polished. So this is going to be a much stronger edge. It's going to be much more durable, but it's not going to cut nearly as nice as this beautiful design that I've created here, this work of art that I've created. So convex and bevel, two styles of scissors. The other element in scissor design is offset versus regular set. I'm just going to use the same two scissors that I used in the convex edge, bevel edge example, since one is quite different from the other in both edge design, in handle design as well. The Casio is offset, the handle is offset on it. You can see offset just means that the finger rings don't line up side by side like on this bevel edge scissor, the finger rings are side by side. Why does that make a difference? When your finger rings are side by side, you're having to push your thumb back into the thumb ring in a rather unnatural position. If the thumb ring is a little further forward, your thumb doesn't have to go as far back in order to go into the thumb ring. If the two rings are side by side, my thumb has to be way back here. This moves my thumb a little further forward, so it's a little more comfortable. Also, when I'm cutting with the scissors, I'll find the offset scissor is perfectly straight, comes straight out of my hand. Whereas the regular set scissor, I'm gonna have to twist my wrist and lift my elbow a little higher in order to get that scissor straight. So it just more naturally comes out of my hand when I'm cutting with a regular or an offset scissor. Now, there are different stages of offset. This Casio is a little further offset than the Millennium, is a little further offset than the green. So you see it comes out of my hand even a little straighter. So the further offset your scissor, probably the more comfortable it's going to be. It just moves your thumb further forward. Of course, there would be an extreme where you get too far forward, and that's just not natural. But feel the scissor in your hand to determine whether it's comfortable for you. But offset definitely is a more comfortable scissor design than regular set. There's lots of stylists, lots of barbers that are classic barbers. They have classic tastes and they just prefer regular set. They don't find that there's any comfort difference if they go to offset. But if you're just starting out in styling, you probably want to make the choice with offset. There's much fewer bevel edge scissors in an offset design than there are hairstyling or convex edge scissors in an offset design. So it's harder to find a bevel edge scissor that's offset. But there certainly are lots of convex edge scissors that come in an offset design. And then some of them even come in beyond offset, where the thumb ring will swivel, so that not only is the thumb ring offset, but it allows your thumb freedom of movement, so that if you're cutting down, your thumb is free to move. If you're cutting away, your thumb is free to move. Your thumb will move with the blade to keep your elbow nice and straight and nice and low, and your wrist nice and straight, so that it takes a lot of the strain off of your wrist and your shoulder. So that's another design element. I could go on and on about design elements. There's so many other features that you can look for, but we can cover that in future discussions.